Well, hello and welcome to the cottage. Time for a little chit chat with Auntie Karen. It's been a hot minute since we talked about spiritual matters. We're going to talk about manifestation power moves 101, a little bit of a PS to some things that have to do with some observations that I have noted recently. And I have to give props to one of my mods and mentors, Miss Roxafol, for pointing out her own observations about some things that really make a difference in manifestation. And then in looking at my own experiences, the patterns that she noticed herself, I find to be true in my own path. So with that being said, let's get started and talk about ways that I believe you can ramp up your manifestation and manifest better life experiences in every area. Okay, so let's talk about astrology. And many of you know I do not hold myself out to be an astrologer. That being said, it is an area that I am slowly starting to learn a little bit more about. You know, we often talk about the sun, moon, rising, and Venus, and certainly those are very key players in making us who we are, talking about things we, are to work on and overcome and step into energetically to bring out our best self. But, the things that sometimes are not talked about as much that I want to talk about are your North Node, your South Node, and Stelliums. That being said, it is in recent months that I have come to realize the importance of those placements and your life path, and how that all plays into manifesting better life experiences overall in every area. So first of all, my understanding of those things, let me first define those. And if you don't know your zodiac placements, there is a cafeastrology.com is one place that you can go and run your chart for free, and that is going to give you your sun, moon, rising, Venus. It'll give you your North Node, your South Node, and you can locate your stelliums, and I'm going to tell you how you can determine if you have a stellium either in a house or in a zodiac sign. Okay, let me define stellium, and this is commonly, the common thought amongst the astrology folks about how stelliums are defined. If you have 3 or more placements in one house, if you have 3 or more planets in a house or a zodiac sign, then you have a stellium. I'm going to use myself as an example to illustrate, okay? I have a Taurus. Many of you know I'm a Gemini sun, Capricorn moon, Gemini rising. My Venus sign is Cancer. The things that you may or may not know is that I have 3 planets in Taurus. So I am a Taurus stellium. And I have 4 planets in my 12th house. So I also have another stellium in the 12th house. Well, why does all this matter? Okay, this all has to, we hear things like your life is, your life path is written in the stars. And in many ways it is. We certainly have free will as to whether or not we're going to, how we're going to approach the experiences that we have agreed to, in my opinion, before we came here, okay? But we have free will. We can step into the positives or we can fight against, okay? And I have done both. Spent most of my life fighting against these things. So I'm going to use myself as an example. My North Node is Cancer. My South Node is Capricorn. Your North Node has everything to do with your current life path and what you're supposed to be doing. It will help you and guide you toward your purpose and your passion and the thing that you are supposed to be embracing, both on an individual level, and then many times it will manifest, sometimes as a career, sometimes as just a passion that you are passionately involved in, okay? Your South Node is what you have already energetically conquered in a past life. So those are the things that early on in your life, in my opinion specifically, the things that you're going to be drawn to because they're comfortable and you know how to do those things because you've already mastered those. So there's a sense of comfort zone associated with the energies of your south node, okay? And an uncomfortable zone in the energies of your north node. And this is why we often talk about getting out of your comfort zone is where the growth is. And that's what we're supposed to do in our lives, okay, to grow. And so for me, it is developing the nurturing side, the compassion, the emotions, okay, and caring for others, healer. Those are the types of things that are associated with Cancerian energy. There's much more, and I'm not going to go into great depths, but I use myself as an example to hopefully help you so that when you start researching these things, it's important. Now, equally important is, as far as stelliums go, is not just that you have a cluster of planets within either a zodiac sign or a house, but what planets are there. So if you determine that you have a stellium, you also have a life path that has to do with things associated with either that zodiac sign and or that house. Okay, you know, and the planets that are there, not just the fact that you have a cluster, but which ones make a huge difference in how this is going to play out. So this, you know, for me, the 12th house has to do with spirituality. It has to do with metaphysical and ethereal type things, okay? And there are challenging placements in there for me. And fortunately, the challenge was designed to help me to overcome some things. Now, I obviously had the free will not to, and for most of my life, I fought against those things and went in the opposite direction. But trust and believe, I was very much affected by those things. The same with the north and south node. And what I have noticed is this, and what Ms. Roxy has noticed is this, and I believe this to be true. I would love to hear your feedback on this, but I believe that when we are stepping into the areas that we are supposed to, okay, and, you know, for me, when I am stepping into the healer mode, the nurturer, nurturing my family, you know, nurturing, you know, like the motherhood aspect of, you know, Cancerian energy, for example. Many of you know I'm a mother, okay, I have a daughter. And when I'm really focused on those areas and, you know, here on the channel, several things happen. Number one, it fills my heart. It's like I feel this compulsion, and it's just this happiness and this energy that I can't explain, and it's a compulsion to step into that, and it's happiness that I feel, and feeling very centered and knowing I'm doing exactly what I'm supposed to do. And I really don't care so much about the results. I just follow my passion. This is like my life path, okay? And it's why I am what I'm supposed to be doing this lifetime. And then I don't worry so much about the results, okay? I don't worry so much about, you know, the manifestation aspects. Am I going to be successful? Am I not? For a couple of reasons. One, I just don't care because I'm doing what I love. And two, you know, in that energy, I'm trusting the divine, and I know that, you know, no matter what happens with regard to my channel, whatever, I'm going to be fine. Universe got me because I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. I'm following my heart. I'm following my passion. I'm following my intuition. So, you know, for the first majority of my life, I was in my comfort zone. And I was really embracing that Capricorn energy. And there's nothing wrong with Capricorn energy. It's just that it is something I have already conquered in a past lifetime. Many of you know, for years, most of my life, I spent in the field of accounting, which, you know, is, it is by definition, and you talk to people in that field, it is a field of overworking. Accountants probably work more hours than many, many other professions. And I was in a management position, so of course, no overtime. Now, I did make good money, but I was miserable. And I can't explain it. I was comfortable doing those things. I am a damn good accountant. I'm very good at what I have, you know, my chosen field is. And, you know, was well respected. And I could go back and do well as far as getting tasks done. But in my heart, I would be absolutely, I cannot think of a more special hell for me right now, because that's just not what I'm supposed to be doing. But yet it's my comfort zone. And oftentimes we talk about, you know, people being in a comfort zone. It's not necessarily pleasant. It's not necessarily fulfilling, and it certainly can be toxic, you know, and I'm not saying accounting is toxic or, you know, being in that energy was toxic, but many times staying in the comfort zone can be, particularly when we come up in traumatic situations in the home, for example. And even though it's not pleasant, it doesn't make us smile, it doesn't give us pleasure. We know the rules. We know how to function there because it's our comfort zone. And so that really explains why for many years I stayed in the profession that I did. It makes total sense. And I, you know, in many ways, looking back, I was in self-destruct mode because I hated it so much. And subconsciously, I really believe that I did a lot of things to sabotage my career from a subconscious place, okay? Just my personal beliefs. So I share from my own personal placements and experience to hopefully propel you to look into these things. But I notice that whenever I'm pursuing that Cancerian energy, healer, you know, emotions both within, okay, healing myself, bringing information to you that makes my heart sing, nurturing my loved ones in my life romantically, family, friends. When I'm nurturing those connections, my manifestation, I can't tell you why, but I can tell you there is a consistent and distinct pattern in my own path of when I am in that element versus when I am not, okay? When I start overly focusing on tasks and getting the job done and to-do list, and I'm overly obsessing about that, which is Capricorn energy, man, the manifestation goes in the toilet, okay? And whenever I get my mind off that and I say, okay, there's a balance here, you know, and self-care is a very much a part of that Cancerian thing too, nurturing yourself, okay? When I focus on those things, I tend to, you know, it just tends to be a beautiful side effect of following into my life path and purpose that the manifestations just come. The abundance just is like a side effect. But the happiness and the fulfillment is a big part of that, because when we're feeling happy and fulfilled on the inside, okay, from following our life path, that puts us in that Nine of Cups energy where we're just overflowing on the inside, okay? And that's why I often say, as within, so without. It has to be on the inside first, and then the outside, which is your outward manifestation, is going to match that. So I hope that this has helped you guys a little bit. Thank you again, Miss Roxyful, for pointing out your own observations. These are, you know, this is my observations, and so it is a belief, okay? It's nothing I can prove. It's just a belief based on 57 years of this lifetime being on the planet. And then, you know, Miss Roxy, who is a very knowledgeable astrologer, making some observations in her own life and in the lives of folks that she knows and about their path. So I hope this helps, and I hope that if you haven't subscribed to my channel, you'll do so. Many of you know I have two channels, okay? Enchanted Cottage 333, where I read tarot. You can book a personal reading with me there. Description boxes below those videos have the link to my website to book a personal reading. And also Auntie Karen Beyond the Cards, okay, which is where we dig deep in matters like this, okay? So I hope this helps, and I wish you all so much love, light, and success in your journey. See you next time.